Many strategies have already been shared about how to boost your self-confidence, and after trying most of them, here is what I discovered. There is no such thing as building an unshakable confidence that lasts a lifetime. But here is the good news. You can train yourself to be confident whenever your self-confidence tank is low. That means you can prepare yourself to become unstoppable. Out of the many strategies out there, I will reveal in this video 6 science-based and time-tested strategies to boost your confidence that are practical and actually work. These strategies have never failed to boost my self-confidence whenever I needed it. From climbing the corporate ladder, navigating relationships, and learning how to ski. I will be taking a deeper dive into each of these strategies to boost your self-confidence, specifically on how I applied each of them and the results achieved, so that you can have a clear idea and can adapt it for yourself. If you're new here, my name is Belle. I post videos about my discoveries and adventures to help you build a happier, more vibrant, and more purposeful life. Subscribe to my channel if you enjoy these topics. Self-confidence is a bit like the weather because it is not a constant state. It is not based on your actual ability on whether you can achieve something, but the belief that you can. Believing that you can learn a new sport or start a YouTube channel. Building self-confidence is about rewiring your brain and defying limitations. Based on psychologists' research on neuroplasticity, which refers to the process that involves adaptive, structural, and functional changes to the brain, we can rewire our brain to change your thoughts at any age. This means no matter how insecure you are about your capabilities, and regardless of whether you're 20 years old or 70, building self-confidence can be achieved by choice according to science. And you have already taken the first step watching this video. Here are the 6 strategies to boost your self-confidence, specifically on how I applied each of them and the results achieved. As the best-selling author Alex Maley says in his book, The Naked CEO, the only way to build self-confidence is to take action despite your fear of messing up or embarrassment. But how do you take action when you have little confidence? You pretend play. Just like children engage in imaginative play to explore different roles, you can use the same pretend play technique to boost your self-confidence by specifically doing these 4 things. Dress up, show up, reach out, and speak up. Here is how I use pretend play to learn skiing. I have an extreme fear of heights, but because my partner and the kids are all good skiers, I decided to learn skiing because I really wanted to ski with my family. Despite having zero confidence, starting a few years ago at our annual ski trip holidays, I decided to pretend that I was already a good skier. Every morning, I dressed in my ski gear, show up on the slope, reach out to my ski instructor, and tell myself I am a great skier. I did this every year during our annual ski holiday for 3 years. That's 21 days because we usually ski for 1 week each time. And the result? I went from breaking a cold sweat just standing on a baby slope to having the confidence to ski on green slopes and actually started to enjoy it. Now obviously, it took more than pretend play for me to learn how to ski properly, which I will tell you more about in the next point. But the lesson here is this. Pretending to be confident and play out that dream role you have in your mind is your entry ticket to boosting your self-confidence. Among the 4 things mentioned earlier, dress up, show up, reach out, and speak up, do not underestimate the power of first step, dressing out. Do you notice how your posture almost instantly changes to project confidence when you change out of your old t-shirt and sweatpants into well-fitted clothes that make you look good or appear professional? And remember the last time when you walked out of the hair salon and felt like $1,000,000? Harvard psychologist Amy Cuddy and others studied the positive effects of confident body postures on our hormones, and the results show that a confident posture sends messages to your brain that can change the way you feel, which in turn affects how other people see you. Do you remember this guy who went viral on social media some years ago? You would think he is a model or an actor, but it turns out he is a beggar in China. His dress sense and his his confident posture in this photo made him go viral, and he became famous overnight. If you want to become more confident before a crucial moment, pretend play and start by dressing up to the dream role you have in mind. Let's learn from Samuel Beckett, and here is one of my favorite quotes from him. Ever tried, ever failed, no matter. Try again, fail better. I am a shining example of fail often and fail better when it comes to skiing. There were a few times I even had to take off my skis to walk down the ski slope because I had no confidence, despite my ski instructor and my family and everyone telling me that I already had the skills. I failed so many times with little breakthrough, and then came my biggest failure. I was once left behind on a black slope because my ski instructor and everyone in my ski class already skied down. So I had no choice but to brave the slope because it was getting dark and it was clear that my ski instructor wasn't going to walk up that black slope to save me. I climbed up halfway skiing down, fell, hit my head and blacked out until two French guys saved me. It was absolutely horrifying, but since that time, my skiing improved greatly and I became more confident. After many falls and accidents, today I can finally ski happily together with my family. Failure often builds your resilience because it makes failing itself a little bit less scary every time. The next strategy here is very important and I cannot stress this enough. But before I continue, hit that subscribe button if you enjoy my content, and I will post more videos on similar content for you. Now back to this next crucial strategy, and it doesn't matter what excuses you have for yourself, but this has got to be done. And that is, stay away from people who strip you of your confidence. Next time you find yourself around these people, learn from Bruce Lee. Be water. A couple of years ago, I started to be water, and I would move around and away from the people who held me back by gracefully scaling back my interactions with them. Just start by showing up less in person when these people are around, and also start communicating less in your text or messaging groups with these people. Only engage when necessary and stick to the point. This strategy has worked like magic for me. In just a few months, you will feel more confident when you only have positive and uplifting people in your environment. It is important to also remind yourself that no one can take away your self-confidence unless you give them the power. If you cannot physically remove or distance yourself because you work with people who drag you down, then I've got one tip that both my counselor and meditation instructor shared with me. It is a simple visualization exercise that can be done anywhere. Just take a deep breath and imagine that you're sitting inside a vacuum with a glowing crystal glass shell around you, protecting you. Let the people say or do what they want. You are simply an observer looking out. Keep your calm, don't engage, and just focus on what is right in front of you or what needs to be done, whether it's closing that deal or getting through that social event. This has worked every time, at least in my case, and it gets easier the more you practice. If you are interested in finding out more about meditation, check out my video here. This next self-confidence boosting strategy is especially for perfectionists because it can be challenging for perfectionists to be confident when it is extra hard for them to reach the impossible goals that they set for themselves. But the truth is, unless you're trying to solve science-related problems, perfection is personal for most things in life. What is not perfect to you or gives you zero confidence might be absolute perfection for someone else or in another context. Do you remember not feeling confident at all on that first date and making so many clumsy mistakes? It was anything but perfect to you, but in the eyes of the right person, you were perfect. Years ago, I was given a job interview opportunity at the Big Four. I quickly realized that I had no relevant experience whatsoever that the company was looking for, so I wasn't confident that I would get an offer, but I did. I was told later that the reason I got the offer was because the company was exactly looking for someone who wasn't from the industry and could offer a fresh perspective. So to them, I was the perfect candidate who fit the bill and who showed enough confidence to even show up at the interview. Lesson: there is no universal standard of perfection. What seems imperfect to you could be precisely what another person finds perfect. So it is important not to let let the pursuit of perfection affect your self-confidence because despite what you might think of yourself, many other people find you attractive and fabulous. People always say one of the strategies to boost your self-confidence is to celebrate your small wins. But how do you do that when sometimes you don't even remember your small wins? Life gets in the way and buries them. I discovered the power of annual goal planners or other similar digital planners if you don't prefer physical notebooks. I have always used some sort of physical notebooks to jot down ideas and my to-do list. Probably a habit that stuck around since my architecture school years, but last year I decided to get a different annual planner. Instead of just an annual calendar that lets you plan your day throughout the year, some planners actually guide you to put down your goals and encourage you to track them throughout the year along with many other interesting tools. In the beginning, I bought my annual goal planner just because I thought the color was pretty. But once I started using it, I realized that it is a helpful tool to help you set, monitor, and celebrate your small wins. Just start by setting out a block of time, say 20 to 30 minutes at least once a month, to write down your monthly and quarterly goals. You can start tracking your progress and celebrating your small wins and big ones right away. I have been surprised at how this tool has helped me boost my self-confidence. I look at it at least every month. It is amazing to acknowledge how much you have achieved every month and seeing that you're one step closer to your goal. My favorite part so far is being able to check off that goal I set for myself because it boosts my confidence just checking it off and puts me on a momentum, which motivates me to keep going. I encourage you to try out annual goal planners, whether they're physical notebooks or digital tools. The one I use now is from Lavender, and you can find many other good ones too on Etsy and other online platforms. This last strategy on boosting your self-confidence sounds so cliche, but just hear me out. If you have read The Atomic Habits by James Clear or listened to the Tim Ferriss show where he interviewed James, you may have picked up the concept of an upstream habit. What does it mean by an upstream habit? It means a habit that optimizes your productivity and sets you up for a good day with many positive spillovers, which includes boosting your self-confidence. Exercise tops the list of being an upstream habit. So whenever my confidence tank is low that day, I force myself to go to the gym. I say force because I don't like going to the gym, even though it's only a 10-minute walk from my home. But every time after I walk out of the gym, I am so happy I did it because I would feel energized, clear-headed, and a lot more confident to achieve my goals for the day. Exercise is the magic pill that is effective in boosting your confidence, except this pill takes more than 30 minutes to swallow. Self-confidence is something you have to develop through consistent application. You become confident by doing something repeatedly and mastering it, and then by preventing any self-doubts from creeping up. Once you have done things you used to be afraid of, you will realize how stupid your fears were in the first place. Thanks for joining me today, and see you in my next video.